Alright, so in the first two bars until here we are in B minor, so everything is good. Here there's nothing that is clashing too much. Now we're going to our D major, and this note that we're landing on, so on the strong beat, it's already in D, so we don't have to change that note. Sorry. But this note down here, because as I said, the lower the note gets, the more it should be in the chord tonality that is currently playing. Because as I said, deep frequencies, they're not mixing up very well together. I will not make an example right here. We'll just choose those two notes because from bar 3 to bar 5 in those two bars there's the D major chord playing here, as we can see in the arrangement view. Okay, let's have a listen to that. So now we're in the G major here from bar 5 to bar 7, and I think there's not everything working out perfectly, but our lowest note, the B, it's the third of our G major chord, so it's working out. The note that is on the downbeats here, it's the D, and this is the fifth of the G major chord, so it's working out as well. The only note that could be a little bit problematic here is the highest note here. It's an F sharp and G, they're clashing because it's like a half tone apart, you know? So if you have a listen to those notes, that would be like. But it's playing a very short time, so maybe we're not even aware of that dissonance that should theoretically going on there. But let's try to move this one up to the G, so we're safe. So now what could happen now is that it will sound a little bit boring, and then we would have to change it back. But this is something you can listen to for yourself and decide it on your own. Don't know if I like it. Let's change it back and listen again. I think I would leave it there. Alright, so now we have to change something here. We are switching to A major in our chords. And now this downbeat on the D is not making any sense anymore. So we'll just pick those three notes, because in this part of our harmonic content there will be the leading tone, and we have to adjust that in a second step. So now let's just transpose those notes up to the E, which is the fifth of the A. Now we are having like a little bit of a problem, it's maybe too hard word, but there are two E's following each other, and this could be a little bit boring because we, like in all the other shapes before, we hadn't like the same notes playing after each other. So maybe we have to change this note as well. A second thing is that we're changing to A major here, so the B, the lowest note, is not making sense on the B anymore, so we have to transpose this either down to our A or could go up to the C sharp, but I would go to the A because on the C sharp we already have this note that is playing afterwards, and then it would be a little bit boring if the two of the same notes are repeating. So let's have a listen. So as I mentioned earlier, this part here, it's not making any sense, unfortunately. So maybe we can just take this note and transpose it down here on the D, or even on the C sharp, which would fit the A major chord characteristic in this part of our track even a little bit more. Alright, and now here we have our leading tone, which is the A sharp, so we will emphasize this as well. So we are on the A here, then we can the next one go to the A sharp. And now it can get a little bit theoretical, but leading tone in this case is the third of the dominant chord of B minor. So if you have your B minor scale, the fifth above the B, it's the F sharp. And of course, you know, dominant chord is always the 5th chord of your scale. So the F sharp major chord, or in this case dominant chord, is the one that's leading back to our E chord, that is the 1. So what we can do now is the leading tone that Masane picked to get back to his B, to his 1 chord, was the 3rd of the F sharp dominant chord. So we have in the F sharp, the dominant chord, we have the F sharp, we have the A sharp, and we have the C sharp, and then we have like the dominant note, which is making it a dominant chord, which is the E. Okay? So now, as we know that our leading tone in the bass line sorry guys, this is a little bit theoretical, but it's important to understand. So our leading tone in the bass line is the 3rd of our F sharp. We can now use all those notes in the F sharp to design our ARP in that last section. Okay, so we have our A sharp here, which is the, as I said, which is the major 3rd of our F sharp. So now we can use the C sharp here, which is the 5th of our F sharp dominant chord, and then we have our E, and this is pretty cool because this is the 7th note, which is making it really dominant of our F sharp. So let's have a listen now. Working out pretty well. Alright, so let's go back to our wavetable synth and play a little bit with the parameters. I just want to give you a brief impression on how you could even go further with the sound design there. So let's close down the filter a little bit more. Make it a little bit more plucky by increasing envelope 2 amount on the filter frequency. Let's play a little bit with the basic shapes. Sounds also pretty cool. Maybe a little bit more delay. Yeah. Now that's pretty cool because you have this delay, and when you open up the filter very quickly, the opened up notes that were played of the synth, they will get delayed over the other one. So it's smoothing out the cutoff opening, and it's not like open close, it's open close, and this open close movement will also get delayed. So this is pretty cool. Sorry, I have a little bit of CPU crackling sometimes. We can even enable oscillator 2 here, and what I like to work with is a little bit of noise amount, just when you open up the filter, that that the sound will get a little bit grippier. So we can choose white noise here, and on the left side here you can see the volume control over your oscillator that is just getting turned on. So let's just decrease the volume here and open up the filter, which is the same for both oscillators at the moment. And now let's dial in the white noise. Is it even white noise? This is not even white noise. I'm looking like for weird. In which world is this a white noise? Okay guys, girls, we will not use this white noise here. I think this was like the first example, and now let's just jam around and come up with different ideas.